The following contest is a special tag team match scheduled for one fall.
I've been looking forward to this matchup since we announced it a month ago. And these two gentlemen have gotten a free ride for too long in this company. It's about time they earn their opportunities here.
Introducing first, representing the combination, at the weight of 418 pounds, Atticus Otis, the Cogar brothers.
The intensity and the inner rage of Atticus Cogar on the right side of your screen. His brother Otis is on the left. They first emerged in PCW this past October at Revengeance when they got involved in the Lumberjack matchup between Jason Kincaid, the Gift, and the New Age Plague Dory. And with that, the culmination was formed. Adding Remy LeVay, you can see just the trembling, the shaking, the anger inside of Atticus Cogar that's been building for so long as he and brother Otis finally, officially, legally will compete in ring competition. We'll see if they live up to the hype without the culmination with them. Gory banned from the building, Remy banned from ringside. Remy will be in a no DQ war later tonight.
And their opponents, with a combined shoe size of 23, Dropkick Dave and Uppercut.
No. 23 is a really impressive number, and Dropkick Dave and Uppercut Ulysses are a really impressive tag team. They always come back to fight. They always come back looking for more. They haven't won every match, but man, they always have the best attitude. They're positive, and they are cult heroes. These people have adopted Dave and Uppercut like no other, really. You want to talk about something that just caught fire, and you really can't even explain it? That's Dropkick and Uppercut. Two great young kids, and you know what? They have their specialty. They have what they prefer. They have their modus operandi of offense. You dance with what brung you, and more often than not, it works.
Well, I'll tell you, the Cogars flat out scare me completely. We mentioned earlier about what happens when you see Mance Warner in a dark alley. If you're somewhere in the woods and you see the Cogars coming at you, you run. You run as fast as you can, like you mentioned with Mance Warner earlier. But I have more, I guess, at stake in this match than I would expect, because two guys that absolutely scare the bejesus out of me, taking on two guys that I absolutely cannot stand, that I believe are running for mayor of Cleveland by the end of the night.
Well, two very diverse tandems as we are underway. The Cogars, it's been impossible to get to them thus far, really. They always travel in packs along with Remy and Gory. We'll see how they compete. It's Atticus Cogar starting out with Dropkick Dave. And you got to wonder, these are two tag teams that really like to get inside your head in two completely different ways. This matchup may be won or lost psychologically.
Well, one of them uses fun and games, and we know the two moves that they use. And the other ones just use violence and a sick, twisted sense of what they see as fun and games. So along the same path, but definitely one driving a little bit demented, different style in what they do.
Notice the frantic strikes by Atticus, but a drop kick by Dave. People love those drop kicks.
Yeah, they do. Not everybody, Joe. And well, I think we're going to deviate from drop kicks to another move, perhaps.
Otis Cogar tagged in, as is Uppercut Ulysses. Maybe the most successful Ulysses in the history of pro wrestling.
Well, in the history of professional wrestling, yes. I believe there were a few other Ulysses in U.S. history that have done a thing.
What's the plural of Ulysses? Ulysses.
Ulysses. Yes.
Otis Cogar with an elbow, and in all seriousness, though, this is no laughing matter for Dropkick and Uppercut, because you can't help but look at the Cogars and just feel a little off, feel intimidated as Uppercut connects by Ulysses. Otis not happy about it, but so many different deviations, so many different ways and directions Ulysses can come at you with. Look at this. Up and around the back.
Well, just being...
Uppercut!
No!
You got him! I love it!
I bet you do. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
In comes Dave!
Go ahead.
I'm a huge Dave fan. Uppercut! walks up the front of Otis Cogar, and now Dave with a drop kick.
Oh, I sometimes hate my life.
Oh, wait, Otis puts the brakes on. Otis at low center of gravity. Oh, no. I think Dave and Ulysses hit heads, and Otis crashing his body weight into Dave, and that's not something you see happen to Dave and Ulysses all that often. Otis just knocked both men down with really one motion.
Well, sometimes, Joe, speed and catch can, if you will, that we see from Dave and Ulysses may not be the match for straight power.
No, cover here. 2 count only.
And I would say if there were demons in professional wrestling, not the personal demons, but demons as an entity themselves, it would definitely be the Cogars.
What do you mean if? Look at Otis. Oh, double team in the corner. Choke slammed into the turnbuckle, and Atticus with a kick on the way down as well. And Atticus always running his mouth. Fashions himself to be the leader of the family, so to speak. Always manipulating, always trying to control the situation, and always running his mouth. He feels it truly is the world versus the Cogars, and I don't think he's wrong.
And you also got to think as well that this is their first matchup here in PCW, but this isn't just a regular tag match. This is, as everything they do, is not only them looking to send a message, but also them looking to make their leader proud and gory.
Cogars abducted Nate Wings a couple of months ago, took him to that torture room or whatever you want to call it. We have not seen Nate Wings in PCW since as Atticus drives both feet into the sternum of Dropkick Dave and comes down across the head as well. Dave was prone, nowhere he could go there. And the Cogars are just all about merciless offense. Down with a senton goes Otis. Cover or no? What do you make of the Cogars so far in their early moments of their official PCW careers?
Well, I definitely see what Gory saw in them, and I think everybody in the PCW locker room needs to take notice of what they're seeing right now with the Cogars.
Cover or no?
You know, Joe, I can't remember ever seeing Dropkick Dave or Uppercut Ulysses really in this type of in this situation. I mean, normally they're very quick. They're very able to change the momentum, and that's not what we're seeing here. My God.
Oh, Dave just down in a crumpled heap. You raise a good point. I've never seen Dave and Ulysses dominated like this in such a dire set of circumstances. 2-0. You mentioned earlier, Dave and Ulysses matches usually all about fun. We're up here having fun. We're screaming dropkick and uppercut, and that's not the tone of this matchup. This is not a Dave and Ulysses environment. This could be a fight for their lives.
In every sense of the word. And I got to go back to what I mentioned earlier. It's a message. So if you're Dropkick Dave and Uppercut Ulysses, and you came into this thinking that this is going to be your normal run-of-the-mill way you do things, you're sadly mistaken.
Atticus tags himself back in. Look at everything Atticus does is just with such rage. You can tell that this isn't just a wrestling match. It's not even just a fight to him. This is like a personal vendetta, even though Atticus has never met these two men before.
Well, yeah, I mean, heaven forbid, you'd have to wonder what they see when they look at Dropkick Dave or Uppercut Ulysses. They don't see a normal person. They see, I don't know what Dave's seeing at this point.
They see a target. They see fresh meat. They see victims that they can play with. These men only experience pleasure when they're putting others through pain. Sadistic.
And even being further back and protected, we're still way closer to the Cogars than I really want to be. Well,
is Atticus reaching for the mask back there? I thought I saw his arm moving behind Dave. Dave with a jawbreaker. And notice, Ben, that wasn't a drop kick. Dave's getting desperate. He's got to get out and fight.
Well, he's, we talked before about we know what masks mean to these wrestlers, and
there's a drop kick.
And it's exactly what we said earlier. It's a message. It's one thing to get a win. It's one thing to even possibly embarrass your opponent, but they're looking for deep, not only physical pain, but emotional pain as well. And that's just that's a different level of.
And Atticus sent into Otis, and wait a second, there's an uppercut. Dave got a little bit of retribution for when he and Uppercut collided earlier. The Cogars collided, and now it's a series of uppercuts by Ulysses. But again, it's not fun, it's frantic. This guy's fighting for his life. Couple of kicks and a DDT, and we're stepping outside the normal playbook because it's all about win at all costs at this point. Springboard, got the uppercut that time. Atticus is down. Could he be finished here? And Otis with the save.
And that's the key word there, the save, because we just saw Ulysses.
Uppercut.
As we got another, we just saw Ulysses, a lot of fire that we don't normally see, a lot of, dare I use the term, violence.
Atticus just pulled Dave off the apron, and Otis now catches Ulysses, who is out to lunch without his partner. There was some sort of double team plan there, but Otis shuts things down right away. And now we could be setting up for... Oh God!
This is getting violent in a hurry.
I think that'll do it. The Cogar brothers are victorious.
Here are your winners, the Cogar Brothers.
The Cogar brothers call that the pitch black forecast. And it's hard to argue that name based on the fate they have given to what is normally the most fun-loving part of our evening.
And they systematically not only separated the two, but destroyed them. And I've got a sneaking suspicion that they're not done at this point.
Wait a second. What are the Cogars doing? They're abducting Dave. They're going to take him. We're going to take him back to that torture room like what they did Nate Wiggs. And Uppercut realizes the fate here, and again, the fight continues. The Cogars have never cared about rules or bells before. We shouldn't be surprised that it won't stop them now. Hey, come on, Dave. Teach these guys a lesson.
Well, Joe, I'm not one for telling somebody to run away, but if Dave and Ulysses are smart, they'll get out of Dodge as soon as they can.
Well, they can't. They're fighting for their lives here. Let's watch Dave. Oh! God. That reinforced wooden ramp, Dave's body bounced violently.
And you saw that head snap back, too, not only on impact, but on the way back up.
I mean, it's very clear to me the Cogars were never in this for just a victory.
Well, absolutely not. I said it from the get-go. It's more about, sending a message.
Now they've got Dave. Wait, let's listen. You hear that? What are they doing to him? Ulysses back to try to bail out Dave. There's people back there intimidated, watching on, and I don't know what. And they're still fighting. Officials standing by, helpless with anything they can do, as Ulysses and Atticus now brawling back out here. Oh no! Oh, Otis found a crutch. Go! Otis destroying the crutch, destroying our set, destroying Ulysses. This is just uncomfortable.
Joe, this is a little bit further from a wrestling match. We're going to need some kind of something.
What is happening? You can see Ulysses' feet. The Cogars are inflicting some kind of damage here, but perhaps it's for the best that our cameras aren't picking this up. But is there somebody that could do something back there?
We see that. Well, we see Nick Lendl right there. That look on his face isn't a look of.
Finally, an official felt the need to get involved. He got manhandled, and that's his mask. That's Dave's mask. We saw Atticus going for it earlier, and we talked about, Ben, the sacred nature of the mask, how that represents someone's very identity. To have it removed from you, it's shameful. It's like losing your very identity. It's like having your very name taken from you. And that's what Atticus has done to Dropkick Dave. Where's Otis been? Well, they're not done.
Well, Joe, this is you said it yourself, it's a very uncomfortable situation. I don't think officials or anybody's really going to stop this until the Cogars decide that they're done.
And we had a sinking suspicion that is the Uppercut Ulysses mask. Atticus and Otis Cogar have made their PCW debut, and they may have destroyed PCW's most popular tag team.